Good morning. I'm Special United Nations Green Ambassador Gerard Senjumba, and I'd like to share with you what I learned in July of the year 2022 in project management. Of course, those I learned from, which is the United Nations Volunteers e-Campus Disaster Ready. I would also like to know whether I still have that knowledge, that skill in project management. So let's step by step record a series of videos that anyone who is interested in project management can learn from. In actual fact, the course I started, which is the principles of project management, the simplified phase model approach. The simplified phase model approach has 4 phases, which is design, planning, implementation, and closure. In design, during this phase, the project team defines the needs, explore opportunities, analyzes the project environment, designs alternatives for defining the project. The decisions made during this phase set the strategic and operational framework for the project. About project planning, team develops a comprehensive and detailed implementation plan. The implementation plan provides model for all the work of the project. The implementation plan is revisited throughout the life of the project and is updated to reflect the changing context of the project. Then the third is implementation, making everything happen. Put plan to work. The project manager will lead the team, deal with issues, manage the project team. Above all, make sure all parts work together to deliver plan on time, in scope and budget. Then the last phase is project closure. In project closure, implement all closure activities to be completed at the end of a project. Some of these activities are confirming the products or services with the beneficiaries, and collecting lessons learned, and finishing all necessary work. So in the phase model approach makes it easier to plan and manage the project. So we have the coverage, we have the interaction, we have the balance, and we have the success, of course. So about coverage, different organizations may use different names for this phase. For example, design might be called definition. What is important is we carry out the work indicated using phases. The phase model approach can be incorporated into already existing project life cycles, or it can stand alone in its own. The interaction, project phases don't take place consecutively or sequentially. They interact with one another. This makes the phase model flexible and easily adaptable for different projects and sectors. Balance. Organizations should emphasize all phases, not only design, implementation. We need to treat each phase, not only design and implementation, appropriately, so there are people to write reports at closure, for example. Success. A successful project must invest in all phases of the project not just in project design and achieving this, leading to project success. There is what we call the triple constraint triangle, which involves cost, resources, time, schedule, scope, quality. So we have the triple constraint triangle, which is cost, scope, and time. What about cost? Cost means money, materials, and personnel available to deliver products and services and to complete the project. What is the scope? The scope means the product services that the project will produce, tasks, activities, work required to produce these deliverables. What is about time? Time is about amount of time required to complete all activities of the project. All three must stay in balance. They are interdependent. Cost, scope, time, they are interdependent. If one constraint changes, other ones change too. In some certain cases, a constraint can be inflexible. For example, the cost. Sometimes donors' policies don't allow budgetary changes. If you spend less than planned, if you spend less than planned on an activity, balance cannot be shifted elsewhere. You may need to report any unused funds which can be deducted from the project or returned to the donor. So you understand that in this case, the cost it works in that way. For example, about time. An example about time. We ran the case study in the Delta River project, the latrine construction. The latrine construction must be completed before a flexible constraint. So there is no inflexibility in the project timeline, and the project must finish by the expected completion date. Adaptable constraints. If one constraint is inflexible, then there needs to be greater flexibility in the others to help manage any changes. So that is all about what I can say is the introduction. Introduction in project management, but we will go through all the phases as we move from time to time, from one phase to another, to learn the tools and techniques that any project manager should be aware of, so that to ensure that there is truly success happening. And that is what I'm going to share with you from time to time as Gerard Nsengiyumva, the United Nations Organization's Special Green Ambassador. So let's keep in touch, let's keep learning, and of course there are possibilities that you may need these techniques, you may need these tools to succeed in your work. Thank you very much for watching, and let's keep sharing, subscribing, and interacting.